A warrior should train to become a stronger person, but he must always also make his wages. This weekend was one of the most busiest weekends I've had. Welcome to another episode of Awakening Hercules. El Nino has come and has not stopped raining for the last 24 hours straight.
So this week I wanted to talk to you guys about something very important for competing, and that's posing. You know, you could come in with a much better physique than somebody else, and if your posing is not as good as someone else, they will beat you, even if your physique is 3, 4, 5 years their superior or whatever. And for me, posing is absolutely 100% my biggest weakness. I'm pretty good at bodybuilding posing. I'd say I'm pretty damn proficient in bodybuilding posing. I know how to show off my body when it comes to, you know, front double biceps, most musculars, rear lat spread, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to men's physique, which is what I'll actually be competing in June, I can't quite strike the poses as well as a lot of other competitors. Now, men's physique posing is relatively simple. It really just consists of 4 poses. One's in the front, one's from the side, one's from the back, and one's from the side. You don't necessarily flex, you don't necessarily move your arms up and down or your legs or anything like that. It's really all supposed to look very casual and relaxed. Now the thing is, from the front, I can hit that pose. Obviously from the back, I can hit that pose, no problem, right? But when it comes to the side poses, because of my scoliosis issues, I can turn more towards my left side than I can towards my right side. And when you do the side poses, the idea is to make your torso look really tall and your waist look really small. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to actually push your hip that's facing the audience a little bit down and away from the audience, as well as twisting your torso, your chest, as much as you can to give yourself a slimming but then a widening look from the waist up to the shoulders. Now I can do that relatively well from the left side, but when it comes to the right side, I have limited mobility because of my scoliosis issues and obviously some muscle tightening issues. So I can't do the right pose as well as I can do the left pose. Now of course, if you guys have been watching the series, you know that I've been working towards fixing my flexibility, my mobility, doing a lot of exercises, lots of stretching, lots of fascia release. I'm also going to the chiropractor. I'm also doing deep tissue massages, but this is definitely a topic of concern, and I wanted to bring it up to you guys just so you understand that this is one of the things that I'm concentrating, I'm focusing on a lot in the next, 20 weeks we have until the competition in June, because I want to make sure that my posing is not my downfall, even though I know it is my biggest weakness. So as you guys know, I've been dealing with that sort of a shoulder injury in my right shoulder, and so it's been keeping me from doing things overhead, or at least I've been keeping myself from doing that because I don't want to progress the injury any further. So I've been doing all things where I'm pulling low, I'm rowing low and whatnot. And one of the things that I'm doing is, of course, I'm trying to move the weight up progressively as we're going throughout the weeks, because using more weight is always a good idea to gain more size and strength and whatnot, but also because I don't want to force myself into using too much weight and force myself to tweak my shoulder even more. What I've been focusing on is doing more repetitions and slowing the pace of the repetitions down. That way, I'll pull it to my chest at a normal speed, but then I'll try to hold the contraction and then slowly let it down as slow as I can go, while still being reasonable. And it's actually been a really good thing for me because it's forcing me to improve my form and really target and locate my lats, and I've been getting sweet pumps. Like, I've been feeling really, really good after my workouts. So it's actually kind of been a blessing in disguise having to be more cautious with my shoulder here on the back days.
Hello my friends, and welcome to a full leg day in the Hercules episode.
We haven't done one of these in a long time, so I have a cameraman with me. I'm gonna just kind of take you guys through the leg workout. We'll see how it goes. But right now I'm going through my warm-ups, and so I do dynamic stretching. I never do static stretching before my leg workouts. I always do static stretching, meaning just holding the stretches, not moving. I do those stretches after my workouts. I always do dynamic before, just to get the blood moving, get the tendons, ligaments and everything ready, and then we start the workout. All right, so I was originally gonna start with leg press, just because I wanted to see what I can do on that, because I haven't done it in a little bit, but someone's on it, putting out like 42 plates on it. So I'm starting with these alternating dumbbell lunges. I'm only one set in, I'm already sweating. These are one of my absolute new favorite exercises. You just start on one leg, you don't alternate in between, and you focus on sort of torquing your knee in when you come to the top of the rep, and then out when you go to the bottom of the rep. Not a lot, but just a little bit, and you kind of activate all of your quad, and you squeeze your glutes really hard. It's a really good way to activate your whole leg before we go on to leg press, hopefully if that kid's off. Okay, so first set was 35s, now I'm moving up to 45s. This is how you set up for it. I feel like a lot of people have trouble with this one. You just take a really long step, and that's good, that's where you're gonna be. Something that helps me with the form, when I come to the top of this motion, when I come to the top of the lunge,
I squeeze my quad really hard, and whatever leg is back, I squeeze that glute, just to like activate and realize where my muscles are. I try to hold that squeeze as I'm lowering my body. I'm probably gonna do about 5 sets of these. We've done 3 so far, so I got 2 more. Then I'm gonna move on to the leg press. So, even if I've gotten warm enough with another exercise, I'm already doing working sets on another exercise. Whenever you come to another compound exercise, at least for me, I always do another set of warm-ups, just because I need to get my head around the way that I want my knees and my hip joints to move with the lighter weight before I start using what I think would be a PR. So I haven't done leg press in like maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I hit it with 7 plates, which is what I was using before. I actually just got it for 9 reps, which is pretty awesome. I was not expecting that. The music that's on in the background is entirely not the music that I would normally listen to, so it's throwing me off. On like the 7th, 8th rep, I was like, gotta get back into it. But I feel good on this. I feel really strong. I'm trying to keep the pressure on my heels. So oftentimes when I hit a heavy weight, I like to do 1 or 2 sets, just trying to get my reps up, trying to get a PR on the reps. Of course, staying controlled, staying safe. But on the last set, before I start dropping the weight, I like to use the same weight, but start going slower. Do less reps, so I did 9 on the first one, I did 6 on that one, but I tried to make my negative, my eccentric portion, a little bit slower. Just like varying up how you do things, varying up the tempo, is a good way to switch up the leg workout. Now I'm gonna drop the weight a little bit, do a little high reps. So my leg days always change. Sometimes I do mostly compounds and I finish with a few isolations. Sometimes I do just 1 compound and then do a lot of isolations to pump the muscles individually. But today I did 2 compound exercises. I did a lot of volume on compounds. So I'm actually gonna focus on just one side of the leg with isolations and then just finish with a few sets for the other side. So what I mean is I'm gonna do about 5 sets of leg extensions for my quads, quad isolation. Then I'm gonna do about 2 sets of hamstrings. Then I'm gonna do calves. Whereas the next time I do the same style of workout where I'm only doing a little bit of isolations, I'll then do 5 sets on hamstrings and 2 sets on quads. So you always gotta do some symmetry, but you don't always have to be symmetrical in every single workout, just as long as you're balancing it throughout your workouts throughout the week or the month. All right, so me and Fetty are having a vocal battle right now, but the way I attack calves is I like to do some heavy reps, so like heavy sets at least. So I'll aim for like 6 to 10 reps with a heavier weight, and then I'll lower the weight and I'll do high reps. I usually do both in one workout, but sometimes I'll focus just on strength, sometimes I'll focus just on volume. But right now I'm mixing up between the 2. So I'm doing the first couple sets heavy, and the next couple sets I'm doing more like 12 to 14 reps or so. Sometimes I'll even go up to like 20 reps, but not today. So like I said at the beginning of the workout, in the beginning of my workouts of pretty much any muscle group, I always do dynamic stretches, meaning it's movement, right? You don't stop. Because when you do static stretches like I'm doing right now, it's called plastic deformation. So your muscle fibers actually lengthen permanently, which is a good thing. That's what makes you limber. But if you do that, because they lengthen, they need time to recuperate and get strong again for contraction. Their contractile force is actually compromised. So when you go into your workout after static stretching, you're actually weaker. So it's actually putting you at just a slight disadvantage. But for me, like those little tiny tweaks I can make, if I can make them, I will make them to make my workouts better. So now I've just finished my workout and I'm doing static stretching. And this, of course, is for preventing injuries, making myself more limber, whatnot, and improving my range of motion, my mobility for future workouts. Obviously, you don't want to just work out and then not stretch. You'll get very tight, and your posture will start showing that, especially if you're never stretching. You are going to have big problems in the future. Even if you're a little dude, you're a young dude, you need to stretch. I used to not stretch when I was a young dude. It's so important. Okay, so now I just finished my workout. I'm freaking dehydrated. I'm freaking starving. It's later than usual, so I haven't been able to get the same kind of water and food, schedule agenda that I'm usually doing. So I'm actually about to go get some pho, some noodles. I'll show you guys that right now, and then I'll be into this day.
We are eating my favorite post-workout meal ever. I could have this every single day for the rest of my life. What I always get is I get tofu and broccoli, which has tons of vegetables in it. So it's got like bok choy, broccoli, tofu, carrots. It's got a bunch of other stuff, bean sprouts, all sorts of good stuff. And I get double noodles every time. So it's more noodles than the broth has. And then I fill it with chili paste and sriracha, and your mouth burns and your eyes tear, and you turn into a true warrior.
In conclusion, my friends, I'm wearing a beanie in every scene of this video because it's very cold outside and has not stopped raining because El Nino.
This video is a little bit shorter than the usual episodes in this series, just simply because over the New Year's weekend, I was just working. You should have seen me on New Year's Eve. I did a 13-hour, I guess, shift, if you want to call it that, of essentially getting all the products ready. You know, for the last couple days before that, I was getting things ready, and then I was like, okay, now we need to do the long haul, and I just sat there and just work. But everything is released, so if you want to check out any of the products and support me and also support my brand and, you know, just help me out, it's beyondtheweek.com. Of course, I'm going to announce this in another video. But also, I want to let you guys know, because a lot of people are kind of confused about this series, we're coming to the end of this bulk. We're going to be ending bulking in February, maybe mid-February to the end of February. And basically, I'm just trying to put on as much mass as possible. And, you know, of course, I'm adding a little bit of fat. And then we're going to be competing in the middle of June. That's when the competition date is. It's a men's physique competition. The exact date has not been posted on their website yet, but as soon as it is, I'll announce it in an episode. I'll put a link there, so if anybody wants to even compete with us, you know, come and join us as Team Beyond the Week, or even just spectate, come and watch the Coliseum and the battle that is to come, you can definitely do that. I'll let you guys know about that. But that leaves us with roughly about 6 to 8 weeks to finish this bulk off and put on as much mass as we can in the next 2 months or so. And also, I've been working really hard. You heard me kind of mention this a few times. The YouTube house is coming up on the 17th of this month, and of course, the LA Fit Expo is the 23rd and the 24th, so I will be there. LP will be there if you want to meet us. Also, the rest of the house is going to be there. And like I said, I'm going to do a big update video probably this weekend to tell you guys about the Beyond the Week release, the YouTube house, the LA Fit Expo, everything, just really to clear out everything. But this week has been busy. It's been very busy, but I've not fallen off my training. I've not fallen off my food. I've made gains in weight. I've been able to continue training. My shoulder's actually feeling a lot better. It's still there. The injury's still, you know, it's still there. It's sustaining, but it's getting a lot better, and I'm working around it, so I'm really happy about that. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you coming in here and checking out the episodes, even when they're not as action-packed as they usually are. I still try to make them as best as I can, so I appreciate you guys coming in here, showing me love and support, leaving me love in the comments. Seriously, I love going through the comments, answering everyone that I can. I try to answer as many comments as I can, so thank you guys so much. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it,
And I'll see you next week with a whole new set of gains on another episode of Awakening Hercules.